Okay, let's start today's lecture. This lecture is lecture number 9, part B. Let's look at this menu. We are learning JS, that means JavaScript tutorial, and in next lecture we learned about this until here, and today we will learn about this and so on. This chapter is about strings. In the web page we are using many different types of strings, and to manipulate that strings this chapter will be helpful. And let's look at this. JavaScript strings are used for storing and manipulating text. Here we can use string in this way, either single quote or double quote. And in other languages, these strings are being used a lot. Thus, already probably you are very familiar with this string manipulation. And conceptually, almost the same. And let's look at this one. We can use double quote or single quote, it doesn't matter. But if we want to use quote inside of that quote, then that quote, inside quote and outside quote, they should be different. Outside is double quote, then inside should be single. Outside is single quote, then inside should be double quote. To find out the whole length of the string, that is very convenient property name, that is length. If we are dealing with this text as if it is object, text object, string object, and this property is belonging to that object, with this property name we can get the whole length of that string. For example, this 26 alphabet, we can get the number 26 with this property name length. Right after this text, that is string variable. This one is explaining about the escape character. And sometimes we want to embed, even though this one is string, inside we want to use again that quote, then this one is confusing. Thus, to avoid that confusion, we can use backslash escape character like this. Then we can get the result like this. Even for this backslash we can use in this way, then we can show this one like this. Let's look at this example. Here let's look at this output result first. We want to show this one. This is character string. Inside of that character string we want to show that double quote here for Vikings. Then how to present that? In this way, backslash before that double quote. Okay, intentionally I will remove this one. Then let's see what is the result. That may be wrong, thus we cannot see any result here because that is wrong. Thus instead of that we can use backslash like this just before that double quote or single quote, then we can show the result like this. Similarly, for single quote we can do that. Also for the even backslash, we are using one more backslash here, then we can show that backslash. Okay, the others, just for reference, those are not very important. Just for reference, some contents, if that is not very important, then I will skip. If our single line is very long, we need to break that line into two lines like this. Then where should we break that long line? This operator is the appropriate point to break. Sometimes if we want to break in other place, then we can use this backslash. Let's look at this result here. Hello Dolly, and those are divided in different lines like this intentionally to show this result. And how to show this? Okay, even though we are not using if we are not using that backslash here, then we cannot show the result properly. Thus here, if we are using two lines, then we can use this backslash, then we can show them together. Also, in other way, we can use this one. This one is more general probably. This one, concatenation operator. We can use that. This one is the safest way to break a code line in a string is using string addition, that is concatenation operator. Normally JavaScript strings are primitive values, and we are preparing to use that string as primitive value like this. We can create, then this means primitive value, primitive string value. We can declare in this way. This is more general and more recommendable way, but this one is not recommendable, but just for reference. But strings can also be defined as object. To the keyword new, we can create that object. This is string object, but this one is not recommendable method, but this one is just for reference. Here, this one is more preferable way to declare string, primitive string value. This one is not recommendable, but just for reference, as I mentioned, we can declare this John, that is string object, in this way with a new keyword here, like this. After declaration of that, or after creation of that string, we can check the type of that variable, and we can check that data type to verify. Type of X, that is primitive string value here, thus we can see the type is string data type. And if we are checking this Y, then that was created to this method with this new keyword, and the John, that is the created, and that is object. Thus we can see the data type object here. If we are comparing them together, then though in terms of value, they may be equal, but in terms of the data type, they are different. Thus we can see, if we are comparing only the data, whether they are equal or not, they are equal, thus we can get the Boolean value true here. But as we learned already, in terms of data type, those are different. This one is string data type, this one is object data type. Thus they are different. Thus if we are using this triple equal comparison, then that means that is checking even the data type. Thus they are not same. Thus the result will be Boolean value first. Even same John, but we are creating here different object. Thus here if we are checking, then here even though they are same string John, but they are different object. Thus it is very confusing. There's this one, okay, this one is not recommendable way. Thus please try to use primitive value, string value, instead of object. Okay, let's move to the next. There are several string manipulation methods, and they will be very convenient to manipulate strings because we are using many strings in our web page, and also we need to manipulate them in convenient way if possible. And here some methods, those will be very convenient to use to manipulate our strings. String methods and properties. Primitive values like John Doe cannot have properties or methods because they are not object. Even though they are not object, we can treat primitive values as object when we are executing methods and properties like this. Just briefly, in our previous example, we observed this one already. This is text and character string here, and even though this one is primitive string and primitive value, and we are using this property as if it is object. Thus we are treating primitive values as objects when executing methods and properties. This one is property. Then we can get the length of this string, 26 here. It is very convenient. Thus we can use in our web application. Finding a string in a string. Sometimes we need to find out some specific string in that lengthy string, and this one is the method for that. Even the location of that, the starting point of that string belonging to that string, some lengthy string, we can find out here. With this index of method, this one is returning the index of, that means the position of the first occurrence of a specified text in a string, like this. Here, let's look at this real example. Okay, let's focus on that JavaScript statement here, and also we are trying to focus on this index of method. Here, string. Even though that is primitive string and primitive string declaration here, we can use this method as if this one is object, and it is very convenient to manipulate. This one is with this one we can find out the position, where is the locate in this whole string, and the returned value will be the index number of that starting character of that string. Locate here. Here this number 7 that was returned here, index of with this method that is returned to this variable name post position, and this is 7. 7 means this one. This one is starting from 0, index number 0 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thus this is the index number 7 that will be returned like this. Thus, in summary, JavaScript counts positions from 0, as we observed in our previous example. And sometimes several same string may be embedded in that length string. For example, this locate. We have 2 locate here, and sometimes we want to find out the position of the second one or last one. In that case, we can use this last index of, then last one, the position will be returned like this. Here, if we are using this last index of to find out that locate, that word string, then the position, that index number that will be returned, this is 21 from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if we are counting this until here, then that is the 21. If there's no specific character string, no word there in that length string, then the returned value will be -1. That means that is not found. Here, this one is the example. Here, John, this word is not here, and that is not found. There's the -1 that will be returned value. In this way, we can find out whether that is embedded or that is not there, and or we can find out the location of the starting point of that specific word. Okay, if we are providing the second parameter like this, then that will be the starting position for search. From that index number, after that, that will be tried to find out. Before that, that will be neglected. Thus, this one. 15 is somewhere here. Thus, after that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Thus, from here, that will be the first character, and that is a starting point to find out, to locate this locate word. We can find out that we can get the result like this. Still, that is index number is same. That will be started from 0, and this one is the 21. Okay, in this way, also we can use this method. There are several methods to manipulate that string, and this search method is one of them. Into this method, we can search a string for a specified value and returns the position of the match, the index number of that location of that word that will be returned. Thus, if we are trying to use this in this real example, then we are learning this one, search method, and we are trying to find out the locate word here. Then this one is finding out the first one, this one, and that position. This one is from 0, and this one is 7. Thus the return value will be 7 here. With this search method, we can find out the index number of the starting position of the specific word. And even though they are very similar, they have some slight difference, and this one is explaining about that. In summary, the search method cannot take a second start position argument, and index of this method cannot take a powerful search values. That will be explained later. That is regular expression. Probably at the end of this chapter, these regular expressions will be explained later. Later chapter we'll learn about it. Sometimes we need to extract some part of that string, that is substring. We can extract into these three methods, one of them, into anyone. We can extract, and we can see some slight difference between them. Let's look at the slice method first. With this slice method, we can extract a part of a string and returns the extracted part in a new string. Thus, the returned extracted part that will be saved in a new string, we'll learn anyhow. It is some example. And we are using two parameters. First one is the start position, and the next one is the end position. With this method, we can slice out a portion of the string. For example, if we are using the parameter 7 and 13, then instead of this 13, just below that, just before that, 13 minus 1, 12 until 12. Thus, this last number, this one is being used in this way, just before this, until. That means 13 minus 1, 12 until 12. That means this one will be included. Thus, from 7, the index number 7 until 12, and that slice, that portion of that string will be extracted. Let's look at here. It's this real example. Okay, we are using the slice method. Here, the position, the index number is starting from 0. Thus 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thus including this 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just before this 13. Thus that means until 12. Here, this substring will be extracted like this. In summary, JavaScript counts positions from 0. First position is always 0. Sometimes we may use the negative value instead of positive value, then it is starting from the right side instead of the left side. Thus from here that will be started. Sometimes we may omit the second parameter. Then the whole substring after that will be extracted until the end, like this. Slice 7 from 7 until the end. Here. Those whole remaining substring will be extracted like this. If possible, try to use positive value. Negative positions do not work in Internet Explorer 8 and earlier version. Thus you should be careful about that. The substring method, probably this one will be the right method name because we are dealing with the substring, and this one is the exact name for that. Substring is similar to slice, but the difference is that substring cannot accept negative indexes and only positive index number can be used for that. Here, substring from 7, the others are same. From 7, index number 0, 1, 2, 3, like that, and the 7 here until here, that is 13 just before that, thus until 12. Same example, and we can get the same result, even though we are using different method, substring. This one is very similar to the previous substring. Let's look at it again here, substring. But this one is just using this, substr. It will be confusing, and there is some slight difference between them. The substr is similar to slice. The difference is that the second parameter specifies the length of the extracted part. In the previous example, we used the index number for both of them, index number, but this one is the length. This is index number, still this one is index number 7, starting from 7, index number 7, and from here it is counting number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of index number. Thus this one is the second parameter, that is the character number, counting number of that extracted characters. Also here we can use another example. Even though we are omitting the second parameter, then we can extract the remaining substring from that until here. This one is also same example with different method. We can get the same result like that. Also, we can use the negative value, then it is starting from here instead of here, and if we are using negative value, it is starting from here. Sometimes we want to replace some word with other different word. If we want to replace them, then we can use this replace method. Thus this one is replacing a specified value with another value in a string, like this. Okay, here let's focus on that. The initial string value was that here, demo in HTML, this one. This is the contents of that paragraph, and that is the assigned to this string variable str, and we are using this replace method to replace this Microsoft into this new character string W3 scores. Thus this Microsoft should be replaced, and the result will be assigned to this character string variable txt. Original str that will contain the same character string before replacement, and this one is a new variable name, and the changed one will be assigned to that variable name, and we are checking that new variable text whether that is being replaced or not. Okay, that is being replaced like that. Here let's look at the original one. This one is not replacing the original string. Thus if we are checking the original one str, then still that is remaining. It is not being replaced like this. Thus this one is new variable, and the replaced one will be assigned to that new variable. Thus here, in summary, the replace method does not change the string. It is called one. It returns a new string. By default, the replace method replaces only the first match here. If there are several Microsoft here, then which one will be replaced? The first one. Let's look at the result here. Here, okay, Microsoft second one is not replaced with this W3 scores, and first one is replaced in this way. And here we should be careful about the case sensitivity. This method is case sensitive. That means uppercase or lowercase, they are different. Thus we should be careful about that. Writing Microsoft is not there because all capitals, and here this one is capital M, the others are lowercase characters. This Microsoft, that is not here. That is not being exist here. There's no change. No change. Microsoft should be changed to W3 scores. But there is one way we can handle this situation. This one is called the regular expression. You to /i. I means insensitive, case insensitive. There's, even though those are full uppercase characters here, from here to here, if we are using this general regular expression, you to /i like this, then it doesn't matter whether this one is lowercase or uppercase. It doesn't matter. If the same character string, then that will be replaced. It doesn't matter, and that is called case insensitive. Let's try. Here we are using this one in case sensitive. Then even though we provide this full capital letters, and actually that is not existing here, but it is checking only that the character, whether that is uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't matter, and it is changing that. It is replacing with these W3 scores like this. Okay, note that regular expressions are written without quotes. That means no quote here. Be careful about that. Also, there is another regular expression, /g. G means global match. Okay, let's think about this situation. There are several Microsoft Microsoft here, 2 actually here, and we want to replace all of them. In our default, replace that function that is on default, by default, that is replacing only the first one, if that is matched. But here, if we want to replace all of them with these WC scores, this one and this one, we want to change all of them, then we can do that with this expression /g. That means globally we can replace like this. We can see all of them, those are being replaced. Okay, in terms of the manipulation of string, sometimes we want to change the lowercase to uppercase or the uppercase to lowercase. This one is the method for that. These two uppercase, this one we can convert to uppercase character string, or to lowercase. There's here, even though this one is capital H, capital W, we can convert this smaller lowercase character. Okay, and this one is concat method. Please remind the plus operator. If they are this plus operator is being used for their character string manipulation, character string operation, then that will be used for concatenation. This one is exactly the same to that plus operator for concatenation. Here, text 1, text 2, text 1, we are dealing with this one as if it is object, and belonging to that object we have this concat method, and here we can concatenate this empty character and text to character string here. Those are concatenated together, and also that text one is concatenated together. That means they are joined or added, attached together. That means concatenation. In summary, the concat method can be used instead of the plus operator. Okay, exactly the same. String trim. This trim method we can trim. That means, think about this empty space here. Empty space. Those are confusing in terms of the database keyword. In some database field, if the empty spaces are embedded, then it may be generate some confusing situation. Thus, in terms of that in terms of that manipulation of that empty characters in front part or in the trailer part, we can trim. That is called the trim method. But unfortunately, in Explorer 8 or a lower version, this one is not being supported. Okay, you don't need to worry about others. It seems to be a little bit confusing. Just for reference, but you don't need to worry about that. Extracting string characters. Sometimes we want to extract a single character instead of several character string, several characters together. Extract a single character like this. Character at method. This one is returning the character at the specified index. That index, as we learned, position number in a string. like this, character 0, and this one is returning 0, 1 to this specific character H, and this one is returning like that. We can see the returned result here. With this character add method, we can specifically extract some specific character. Sometimes we want to see the Unicode of that specific extracted character. Here, character code at 0 means H, but this one is code. For that character, we want to show the Unicode for that. Previous example was about the character add method, character add, but here we are using character code add. This one is inserted there, and this one is different method. With this one we can get the Unicode. This is code for H. Okay, ECMAScript 5. ECMAScript 6 is that was standardized 2015, and this one is the earlier version. This one is allowing the property access, this one, on strings in this way, like array. String 0 means H. But this property access might be a little unpredictable. It does not work in Internet Explorer 7 or earlier version. It makes strings look like arrays, but actually they are not arrays. If no character is found, this square bracket returns undefined. But the previous character add method is returning an empty string. And it is read-only, thus assigning with a specific character to that element like that. That is not working. Okay, you can refer to others. Sometimes we want to convert a string to an array. Then we should provide some delimiter. The comma can be the delimiter for that, and this empty space or this pipe can be the delimiter for that. With this split method, we can split this long string into an array, and each character string will be an array except that the delimiter, comma or empty space. Okay, here we want to make this one as an array. After this, string split, and this is comma is the delimiter. There's A will be one element, first element, and this one will be the second element, like that. And this one, array 0, this one is array, and element 0, first one will be shown like that. Let's see, different one, how about 2? Then third one, C will be shown here. Okay, you can try others. Let's move to the next. Okay, this